What does it mean for you to be a member of the all-time 100 team?
Well, it's very, it's pretty humbling to tell you the truth, because I always was sort of a history buff on football, and I say this, and people question it whether I was truthful or not. But when I was 8 or 9 years old, all I ever dreamed about was playing football, and I followed football. And I was, when I was in high school, I was lucky enough. My brother had played at the University of Illinois with Ray Nitschke, and he introduced me to Ray, and I kind of looked up to Ray for the longest time until I got in the league with him. But I always kind of, I collected the cards of all the old guys and everything else, and so it's a very humbling experience because, to be named, in 100 years of professional football, and I don't know how many players have gone through and played, but what can you say? But it's a humbling experience.
It has to be an incredible experience. And Dick, I'll say when I was I've told the story many times on air, when I was in high school in the late 70s, right before I would go to my game, I would watch your highlight reel of you hitting people to motivate me to go play. And then what I found out is my son Mike, who is here as well, he had a player on his team. He was in high school in the early 2000s that did the exact same thing, watch your highlight reel before he went and played a game. So how does that make you feel when you're influencing so many others because of your play?
Well, I hope they're understanding, and they're when they watch that what the game is all about. It's not patty cake. It's you give your 100% effort, and good things will happen. And when I hear stories like this that people are watching my old films and everything else, it kind of endorses what I wanted to do. I wanted to play, and like when I made a tackle, I would want them to think, hey, there's no doubt that must have been Butkus that hit me, because I was a fullback in high school. So I knew when how you can intimidate ball carriers ever since high school. And like I say, I took that high school experience into college, and then I thought, well, wait a minute. Now we're in college, another level up, and these ball carriers, they're not going to, look where they're going to go before the snap of the ball, or they're going to, they're going to try to run me over. And then lo and behold, I found that they had a little yellow streak down their back, and that they would tip off where they're going to run. And so the process went on, and now we get to the pro level, and, well, it's certainly not going to happen here. And, I mean, this is the elite of the elite. They're not going to tip. They're not going to do this. They're not, they're going to kill me, try to run over me. And lo and behold, the same thing happened. There's a lot of guys that will look where they're going to go, and they have a little yellow streak down their back that if you can intimidate them from the get-go, you got them.
You have the Dick Butkus Award that is given out to the top linebacker in high school, college, and professional football. When you see that every year and having an award named after you, what do you hope to see out of that player every year when that award's handed out? What do you want that to embody?
Well, it's what's also on the trophy that the number one is that you're the best of the best linebackers in the country. That's what this trophy signifies. But also, and more importantly, it's that now that you're being recognized, it's up to you to continue the American tradition of giving back. Because now people are looking up to you because, okay, you're whoop-de-doo. You're the best linebacker in high school football in the country. So therefore, you got to accept the responsibility of being a leader, because people and kids are looking up to you. And the same thing happens with the college and of quite naturally the pros. And sometimes, these actions by these players, I mean, what really bugs the hell out of me is like when you make a tackle or you make a catch in the end zone and you score a touchdown and you do some celebratory dance. Well, Christ's sake, that's your job, man. When we would catch someone doing that back in our era, I'll guarantee you the next play he wouldn't be, dancing. He'd be limping. Yeah. So, but what I just want these kids to just accept the responsibility that, okay, I'm the best supposedly because I got this trophy, but I got to also show other people, kids and everything else, and be a role model for them. And because that's what happened with me.
Yeah.
I looked up to Ray Nitschke, and then when I was playing, I looked up to Bill George. Both outstanding Hall of Famer type people. So I kind of attribute a lot of my success of looking up to the guys that held that elite position of being the best at their positions.
Yeah, well, whatever you did worked because you are revered as one of the greatest of all time. Dick Butkus is with us. And I have to say, as revered as you are and things you were able to do, kudos to the Bears in the 1965 draft. In back-to-back picks in the first round, 3rd overall, Hall of Famer Dick Butkus, 4th overall, Hall of Famer Gale Sayers. That is as good as a draft as you're ever going to find.
Right.
Back-to-back picks in the first round.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.